Hey, what's up? It's Mike from That Wooden Flag. Today, just going to do a quick video on 50 stars for a union on, like, I mean, really any size flag. But so there's tons of files out there on Google that you can search for. You know, if you type in 50 stars SVG, see if you can find a good one. There's a lot on Etsy. I love to buy things on Etsy just because, people are designing things, and obviously they need to make a living too. So why not spend a couple bucks, help somebody out, if it's going to help us out, right? So I did buy a file off Etsy, and you can see I have it loaded in. If I just hit Control A to highlight it all, I can change the size of it. It is an SVG, it's vectorized, so it's not going to distort these stars at all. But this one I'm doing it at like 14 and a half. I usually do 14 and a quarter, but I wanted to do the union just a tad larger. 10 and a half by 14 and a half. Once I have my stars to the size that I want, obviously that's not right. So I pull it up to here and I can see my rendered version over here. Looks pretty good, but I want to make sure it's centered. So when you have the whole file highlighted, hit edit, go to center to material. All right, and then we'll talk about bit. So for a large union like this, I like to use the 90-degree V-bit. Cuts a little bit faster. It's nice and clean. If I was doing like a 22-inch flag, I usually use a 60-degree. And if you go any smaller than that, you can break out the smaller bits. So again, I'm going to highlight this, Control A. I like to cut it at about like 0.20. You can go a little bit smaller if you need to. But you'll see as you get smaller, if you look at the stars here, if I go deep, the center of the star goes to a point. If I go shallow, the center of it is no longer down. So it'll actually take a little longer to carve that versus going to about 0.2. Right about there. All right, so we'll go talk about cut settings depending on what machine you use. I usually do it at a 40 on the feed rate, plunge rate at 20. You can cut that in half, and the depth per pass I leave it at 0.028. I can go a little bit deeper if I wanted, but I wanted to cut the stars clean, so I just leave it at the factory settings. And I leave everything else the same. Once that's done, go up to machine, advanced. Again, I left that out. I use easel. If you haven't watched any of my other videos, hit generate G code. It'll simulate your tool paths over here, and then you'll see it'll show you what star it's going to cut first, and then you can simulate it here, and then I would hit export G code, save it to my files, and then open it up on the machine. But just so you can see here what these red lines are, so it's telling me this is my 0 point. It's going to hit this star first. It's going to work its way up, come down, and it's going to go in a row like that. And the last star cutting would be the upper right corner. If we wanted to hit play on that, we can see what it'll look like. It'll show you how it'll actually cut it out. And then from there, I'm going to load it in the machine and show you a little bit of the video, the CNC running. And then I'll show you what it looked like when it was done. Alright, so let's go over to the CNC and take a look. Again, thanks for watching. Really appreciate everybody that watches my videos and comments.